Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Are we good? Are we learning? I want to say a very big thank you to the visionary of this project, Mr. Francis. Can we put our hands together for him? Awesome. I don't know how you do it. Come and teach me, or you call me mommy. Come and teach me the secret. And to every other speaker that is present here, those who have been here before me, thank you very much for showing up every year and helping the young entrepreneurs come to the limelight. I want to say a very big thank you to every person that is seated. You came out because you want to be better. You came out because there is a mission to fulfill. You came out because there's a passion and a drive to becoming the best. Some of you are having to shatter the glass ceiling and become what probably your family has never been before. So I came in when Honorable Ras was speaking, and I gleaned a lot from him. And I believe we were blessed by what he said. I will build on that. And I am supposed to be speaking on emotional intelligence for entrepreneurs, the roadway to success. It's good to make money. It's good to have creative ideas. It's good to come up with ideas that will transform the world. It's good to come to a place where you know that you've broken the cycle of poverty and that you are the reason another person is employed. You are the reason another person is occupied. You are the reason that somebody's family is blessed and lifted and, stabilized. It's so good to know that. And Africa is at a crossroad where we need entrepreneurs, people with creative ideas that will shake the continent of Africa. And so before I start, I want to prophesy as a mother that your idea will make meaning. Because I know seated amongst us are people who are struggling for years and trying to see how they can make ends meet and then at least bring visibility to whatever they are doing. I pray that visibility will find you. Yes, you will not be drowned. You will not be drowned because there are so many people with ideas. It only takes God to shine His light upon that which you carry. And I pray that God will shine that light on. But there is an aspect of entrepreneurship that we've got to look into. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, people came up with ideas. Some of them never saw the daylight because of their emotional intelligence quotient. God can give you something audacious. But if you are not emotionally intelligent, you may crash it. And so it's so important that we listen to this aspect. IQ may start a business, but emotional intelligence sustains and grows it. Your IQ may help you start a business, but it is emotional intelligence that will help you sustain and build it. As fantastic as intelligence quotient is, that makes you think on your feet, you will need sustainability coming to you by reason of how emotionally intelligent you are. And so, in the introduction here I have is, not assuming that we understand when we're talking about emotional intelligence, that everybody will understand the intensity and the capacity of understanding that is supposed to come from there. So what is emotional intelligence in a nutshell? It is the ability to recognize, understand, manage, and effectively use emotions. So there are key words: to recognize, understand, manage, and effectively use emotions. Emotions is simply feelings that can be triggered by anything. It could just be about somebody's attitude towards you. It could be about your mood at a certain time. It could be as a result of a lot of factors. But your ability to understand, to manage, and to run this so that it doesn't sabotage your entrepreneurial journey is very key. You know, we wear trousers and shirts and we wear skirts and we wear gowns and we are both male and female. Everybody seated here will have a fair share of their experiences when it comes to managing emotions, whether at home, whether at work, whether with regards to your business. But your ability to recognize it and to manage it effectively, both your own and the emotions of other people that your journey will take you to. So in simple terms, what What will I say emotional intelligence means? Number one, being aware of your feelings. Being aware. Okay, I may be speaking like this, and then you come down, I come downstairs and you come to greet me, and I snub you. But I may be the anchor to your next level if you are discerning and sensitive. Because I ignore you the first time, if you are convinced about your connectivity with me based on what I possess, and probably the access I may give you, you have to manage your emotions very well so that you don't get offended with a person that is the key to your next level. Ability to know how to manage. Because sometimes it may be a setup just to test your ability to handle how people treat others. And then it is not just being aware of your feelings, it's controlling emotional reactions. You can't be thinking of entrepreneurship when you can't even handle anger. When you are angry now, your hair stands erect. And you are hoping to take over the world. Which world are you taking over? The world of angry men and women. It doesn't work like that. So it's important that you know how to control emotional reactions and understand other people's emotions. That in your journey to greatness, you can't dictate how other people behave. But if you are emotionally intelligent, even the worst behaved person can be managed for productivity. So I learned this from my father when I was a child, and my father used to tell a particular story. I will never forget it till I die. He's passed almost close to 30 years ago, but that lives on with me, and I've told my children. I said my father came from a poor background, but he was determined to make it in life. So he was a house help. At those times, people had a number of so many children. So he was a house help to a parent that had 12 children. You know, you can't think about that now. And even school fees for 2, some people are running away from having 1. So 12 plus father and mother. And he said the reason he did that was because the stipend he was getting from there, he was determined to use that to train himself in school. So he said to us as children, permit me to use this word. It's not very clean, but that's how he put it. He said, if your next level is dependent on a person, and that person that the next level is dependent on goes to the washroom to do number 2. There are 2 things you do in the washroom, number 1 and number 2. Number 2 is the other side. And the person goes to do number 2 and comes out and says he will not use tissue paper, that you should use your mouth to lick. If you are convinced the person carries something that you need, do it. When you get what you want, you'll never do it again. You know, to the Gen Z, the millennials and all of that, that may look like nauseating if it's the only person. Hold on. The real summation of what I just shared is the fact that when you get the key to unlock that next level, you will never condescend to a level where you take things that are not right. I don't know who your next level is resident or dependent on, but calm down. Emotional intelligence requires you realizing that life is in seasons. And that there is a season that you may act foolish and look foolish. But there is also an end season where those that mock you will realize that the stones that the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. Is somebody with me? Emotional intelligence is what we're looking at. I have a few minutes left, but I'll run through. And so it also means managing relationships effectively. Whether relationships that are work-oriented, whether relationships that are back at home, familiar one and all that, manage them well. And mostly because they are young people here, most of you may not be married. Let me tell you something. Who you marry determines whether your entrepreneurial journey will end well or not. Not ending well by bringing you income, but ending well by using that income to finance negative health. Because you can make all the money here, but if you are not sound health-wise, you'll expend that money. And my desire for you is that in being emotionally intelligent, Don't do things that would jeopardize your health tomorrow. Make your choices well. And the choice of who you marry matters and who you are. Because most times, people are looking for the good person to marry when they themselves are not correct. So, in your pursuit of having that right partner, emotionally be intelligent enough that you must be the right partner. Because at the end of the day, when I was preparing this, the emphasis was strongly in my heart that I should emphasize the fact that life is in 3 seasons: the morning of your life, the afternoon of your life, and the evening of your life. If you don't manage your morning well, you can be excused, but it will affect your afternoon. But that afternoon is very crucial. And most of the people listening to me are in the afternoon season of their lives. But the evening is the worst, because what you sow, you will reap. Whether you like it or not. Be emotionally intelligent, you will reap. If in your entrepreneurial journey, you give all attention to what you are pursuing and you don't have work-life balance, memories will haunt you at that season and you will not like it. So, my prayer is that we will be emotionally intelligent. Tell your neighbor, look to your neighbor and say, I beg you, in all you are getting, get emotional intelligence. Repeat it again for emphasis. I beg you, in all of your getting, get emotional intelligence. Because old age will come. And nobody's telling you about that old age. Leave it like that too before somebody fights you. Okay, so there are core emotional intelligence competencies that I want everybody seated here to go home with. There are core emotional intelligence competencies, and I dropped 7 there. I'll quickly run through it. Number 1, when you see somebody who's competent in these areas, the person is emotionally very intelligent. Number 1, self-awareness is a core competence. Self-awareness is that you are able, without any negotiation, without any shadow of a doubt, you are aware of your feelings, you are aware of your thoughts, you are aware of your strength, you are aware of your weaknesses, and you are so aware of your values. And in all of these, values will be key to all of these indicators. That you are aware of who you are, you know the atmosphere you can, succeed in. And that you have strong values, because without that, that is what Honorable Ras was saying. Integrity. Integrity doesn't just come from nowhere. No, it doesn't come. It's a belt of value. So if you came from a poor home and you are an entrepreneur and you're desiring to be one, you've got to realize that your poverty should not drive you to wanting to make money at all means. So nothing will drive you to compromises, because at the end of the day, your rising or falling is dependent on the values that drive you. So emotional intelligence requires self-awareness. And you may not be able to conduct this for yourself. So you may consult somebody who can help you and say, come up and help me deal with how I manage myself. I want to be aware. I want to know the areas that my strength will be most maximized. I want to know how my strength can give me up and then make me lose on opportunities. I want to know ABCD, because self-awareness is key. If I'm fully aware of myself, what you do will not really make sense to me, because I know who I am and I know what is driving me. My values cannot, because you don't treasure me doesn't mean that I don't know how valuable I am. So I'm not going to base it on how you rate me. I'll be focused on the drive, because emotional intelligence requires self-awareness. Next to self-awareness is self-regulation. You may be aware of yourself, but emotional intelligence says you are not only dealing with yourself, because you are not an island. As we seated here, hundreds of us are in this hall, and everybody is different. We were raised differently, perspective different, ideas different, focus different. Everything about us is different. But how can I work with the next person in such a way that I maximize the best from that person in spite of how that person comes across? Self-regulation. It has to do with your ability to regulate your emotions. So sometimes you don't react. You hear things that should trigger you, but you tell yourself, come on, calm down, calm down, calm down. There's a reason why we are here. So how self-regulated are you? How do you manage your emotions? How do you manage your thoughts? How do you manage your ideas? How do you manage your relationship with others? Self-regulation. An entrepreneur must understand that is by all means going to go through other people's pathway to be able to reach. And we talked about networking. Another core competence in the journey to self-emotional intelligence has to do with purpose-driven motivation. Purpose-driven motivation. This has to do with your ability to know that everything is not measured by money. That what drives you must be more than money. Because when that thing drives you, money will answer to you. Purpose-driven. That whatever entrepreneurial line you are towing is because you have seen how that will bless other people, how that will bless humanity, how that will open the door for other people to come into wealth or blessings or help and all of that. So purpose-driven motivation, that I may be starting an agricultural business, but I see beyond that because I know by reading, by research and all these findings that there is a dominancy of GMO food in certain climes. And that there's a time they will look for Africa or look to Africa. That it will not again happen. That Ukraine and Russia, goes through war and then there's no beans in Africa. When we have fertile soils here. So purpose-driven, that what you're going to do will suspend certain policy directions of certain continents that may not be favorable to Africa. See beyond these immediate gains. That everything is not, you are driven by purpose, that your name will be heard for positive impact. That what you are starting today is nothing compared with the glory that will be revealed. Emotional intelligence is key on ability to be purpose-driven in your motivation. It's not just to shake hands with somebody. So you say, like, we take pictures with people. You know that me, I know him. I know her. What is that? What will that? Will he put food on your table? So you are not clamoring for anything that at the end of the day is just for show. No, you are embarking on something that generations after you will benefit from. You are not starting off a business that will die with you. That purpose, that motivation is called, I'll do something sustainable. That the way Coca-Cola, even though it's mixing whatever they are mixing, their name stays high. I didn't say anything. I don't know why you'd make me have problems. Yes, their drink is very nice. And there are other companies like that their names have been branded and it can never fizzle out. You may be sitting on a dream that doesn't look like it's going to be a branded name. But how you manage your emotions can make that little thing you see today become an oak tree that in Africa, when they mention 2 or 3 people, your business will be mentioned. Because it's not church, you didn't say amen. Sit down. Is somebody learning something? Okay. So there is another core competence that emotional intelligence shows, and it's very important. Empathy. In your journey, please learn to be empathetic. Empathy simply says, feeling what another person feels and dealing with them based on how you would have wanted somebody to deal with you if you were in their shoes. Empathy. Giving ears, giving attention, coming to a place where you understand people beyond them. I was sharing with somebody, I said, every person you see here has a story to their lives. And I did a podcast that most people have watched now with Derek Abaite. And I said something. I said to Derek, I said, you are not the trouser and the shirt that you're wearing. You are an embodiment of so many things. And emotional intelligence in somebody's heart is what will make the person know how to relate with you. It's not everybody you should be angry with, because some people are time bomb waiting to explode. Please detonate them. And the reason they are waiting to explode is because their upbringing may have been nasty. And when we become adults, our upbringing is not labeled on our forehead. Whatever thing we went, you can never tell a person that your journey will take you to that was never believed that they will ever make it. Some that their stepmother, their grandmother, their aunties, their uncles, their father looked at them and said, as for you, you will amount to nothing. And even though they are adults now, those voices re-echo. So sometimes things happen and triggers them. And they go back, way back to when they started. You are not just the nice people I'm seeing here. You are an embodiment of so many things. And if you haven't sought for healing, emotional intelligence says make investment in what will heal the inner child trauma, if there is any. Because if you don't, it will jeopardize your ability to really get to the finishing line. Some of us here were broken and we are still broken, but we want to be entrepreneurs. Some of us were disappointed. And the reason we are pushing out with our business is 1 or 2 persons. So is because we want to prove to those who abandoned us, we too will still matter. You show. You abandon me, I will show you. Don't show anybody. Let everybody show themselves. 2 more competencies you need as far as emotional intelligence is concerned. Conflict management. You need emotional intelligence to be able to manage conflict and emotional leadership. That it's not just about the IQ, it's not just about the pragmatic things you want to see, that you can balance it with certain level of emotions and see beyond the shadow of what you're seeing with the person. Okay, so I have it here. It's a quote. It says, entrepreneurship is not only a financial or strategic journey. Somebody can take this, frame it and hang somewhere. Entrepreneurship is not only a financial or strategic journey, it is also a psychological and emotional journey. Let there be a balance in both. When the pendulum tilts more to one side, it will jeopardize the full potential that you were supposed to exude and show. Okay. So in conclusion, those who master emotional intelligence gain the ability to, number 1, lead people effectively. Yes, when you're starting off, you may be all by yourself. But as you grow, you build teams. Ability to lead people effectively is as a result of emotional intelligence. Acquire it. Take ownership of it as you journey on. It is also a kudos and an addition because it will help you manage uncertainties. Life happens to everybody. Even in business, life happens. And let me say this categorically. The first business you think of may not succeed. Don't give up. Maybe somebody is here and he said, I've tried A, B, C, D. Don't give up. Consistency is the mother of success. But it's important that you have emotional intelligence to manage uncertainties. You know that people can lose all the capital they started out with. But let me announce to you, your end will justify the means. Never allow whatever you lose at the preliminary stages dissuade you. Sometimes good things don't come easy. Pursue with every vigor, but manage uncertainties well. And uncertainty can also have to do with your personal development and personal ideas. That somebody gave you 50,000 Ghana cedis to add to your business. And because you want to impress those you want to appear before, you go and do shopping. It wasn't part of the feasibility study. That feasibility study, you didn't include that as part of the 50,000. Please, I beg you, you could be sure what will happen. So be emotionally intelligent to appropriate resources in ways that it will not sabotage what you stand for as an entrepreneur. And I feel like saying this because it's part of emotional intelligence. It's not every business that requires millions. You can start without, find out. See, this thing is a journey. Emotional intelligence helps you to know I may start from here, but I will not end here. And as you build consistency and integrity, doors will keep opening. And when doors keep opening, God will take you to the final end. So manage your uncertainties, manage disappointment well, manage every situation, manage death, manage grief, manage whatever it is that is negative, manage them well. Because as an entrepreneur, you must be assured, you must self-assure yourself, if there is any English like that, where you are headed. Okay, another thing as we conclude is that you negotiate successfully. Negotiate successfully is an aspect of emotional intelligence. Let me speak to the ladies. Men know how to negotiate very well. Don't allow your emotions and your feminine tendencies make you shoot yourself on the leg. Too much compassion. Something you should charge 1 million. You say, oh, because it's you, because it's you. It's not emotional intelligence. So how will you be able to take care of yourself? Be emotionally intelligent to make sure that when you are allocating resources or charging for services or selling your product, you have done due diligence to what needs to be done so that you are not broke and the people that you thought you were helping will not mock you. Sustain motivation and build a lasting enterprise. Please put the scan there. There are some books. You can scan what is going to come on the screen, but this is how I end. In all of the wisdom of being emotionally intelligent, regulating yourself, being aware of your feelings and the feelings of others, in all of what you need to be able to bring a balance to your journey of entrepreneurship, I go back to what I started. May you not build a business that because you were not intelligent emotionally, you'll be blackmailed or your name will be on the headlines of newspaper. You know what I'm talking about. That now you have money, your business has become big, and you can sleep with anything in skirt or trouser. Nobody will tell you, but I will tell you that. Entrepreneurship requires discipline. Discipline, moral discipline, value-oriented kind of discipline. Come to a place where you know that in the evening of your life, there will be no blackmailing of your name. And there will be no disgrace attached to your name. Because at the end of the day, legacy matters. Don't be remembered as somebody that caused pain. Don't be remembered as somebody that was not wise. Don't be remembered by certain negative attitudes that follow some other people through. You know, there is a way that breakfast show begins to discuss somebody. If they discuss you, it should be because you have succeeded, not because you did something stupid. Your entrepreneurial journey should not bring you to a place that anybody that passes through your shop or your business arena has to put the back on the bed. That's rubbish. That means you were not emotionally intelligent. Because the summary of our lives is not in how many nakedness we have seen. And the people say amen. I want you people to make the continent of Africa free and beautiful. This is our time to shine. There may be war everywhere, but be emotionally intelligent to know that you are the part of the block that will make Africa very attractive. Let your business bring people to partnerships with African governments. Let your business bring people to a place where they say, so these people really had sense. I pray for all what you do. And I pray that you will be emotionally intelligent, that you will manage your home front well, you manage your career well, you manage your entrepreneurial journey well, and that the balance will make the younger generation come to draw inspiration from you. On that note, I drop the mic.